This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Trakke Wester Roll Top Backpack, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So kicking things off with just a little overview of this pack. It is 21 liters, so it kind of comes in as a nice, smaller day pack or kind of like an everyday carry backpack. And we've got a dry finish waxed canvas, which is kind of Trakke's go-to material. It's kind of at least what I know them for. And it's soft, but yet it's very durable and it feels strong. So when you touch it with your hands, it's pretty soft. It almost feels like a I don't know, a really stiff blanket, but at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of give. You're not gonna get, if you pull on it, you're not gonna get any extra pull because it is, it has those strong fibers, and it's, pretty durable, and haven't had any issues durability-wise with this thing, and I think it does look pretty nice too. So this is the black colorway. You can see it's pretty much all black except for the logo right here, and there also are olive, whiskey, and port colorways. So you do have a couple options, and you see a lot of the same options with pretty much every Trakke bag, and the colors that they do have are, I like them all. There's a couple good options, so there's kind of something for everybody. But as you can see here, we've got that classic Trakke logo, handmade in Scotland on the front there. It's kind of, I don't want to say JanSporty, it just kind of reminds me of a JanSport logo, but it's classy at the same time. I think it looks really nice, especially the black on black. I think looks really, really good. And I think on the other colorways it looks nice too, but I really like the black on black here. So something I should say about the material before we dive too far is it does pick up, pet hair and stuff like that. So I'm around cats a fair amount and dogs occasionally too. So there is a little bit of hair on here right now, and my own hair sticks onto this. It is pretty easy to get off if you just have a lint roller or even take some tape and put it around your hand and just kind of stick your hand to the bag. So easy enough to get off, but I thought that was worth noting. So I really did beat the crap out of this bag during testing. This isn't really a pack you would think you'd wear on a bike, but I rode probably some 150 miles or so with this pack, and it handled it really well. There are, a couple spots where it got dirty. I left that there so you can kind of see. I really haven't cleaned this bag. So after 2 weeks of riding my bike with it every day in Michigan, we've got some pretty dirty roads. This is what it looks like, and I think it looks very good. But moving on to the components of this thing, all of the zippers on here are YKK. So this pocket here is a YKK with a water-resistant track there. You can see that. And we have the classic zipper pulls that we're used to from Trakke. Got the little circle, the metal circle, and just, makes it a lot easier to grab onto and really easy to open. I'm a big fan of these zipper pulls, and the two Trakke items that I have tested have it, both this and one of their slings, and I really like these zipper pulls. Even when they're wet, it's easy to grab onto because you can just stick your finger through there and open it, and it's really quick. And you can even, if you want to, throw a little lock on there to lock these together so people can't get inside your bag. So I think that's really awesome. We've got stainless steel metal adjusters here. We've got this one here on the top, and then we've also got this one down here to adjust the shoulder straps. And then on the bottom here, we've got these rings on the end of the straps, all stainless steel. I will say that one time when I was putting the bag on, this one here cut me a little bit. It was just a little scratch, and I was on my bike, so I wasn't really putting it on in an easy way. So when I was putting one of the shoulders on after I grabbed something out of the back, this gave me a little cut, but no big deal really for me. And then we've got this cotton webbing here, and I shouldn't call it webbing, this cotton fabric here that is kind of accents on the pack. So you've got the cotton here, you've got that same cotton here. And you see that on a lot of Trakke bags. Again, I like how they make their bags, so I like it. It might not be for everyone, but it adds a little bit of structure, and that material is really durable. No issues with the durability on that. But moving more into other components, we've got these two side pockets. And when I first saw these, I did not think I was going to like them. They looked like ones that were just thrown on and weren't really going to work very well. But I have my 42 ounce, or I think it's 42, the 48 ounce Nalgene in here right now. And it fit fits with no problem. So not many packs I have tested can fit a water bottle this big, and it pretty much, like, it really swallows it up. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys could really tell before, but like, that's a huge water bottle to not really be able to see. I mean, I know you can see the top, but when you put a smaller water bottle in there, you really can't even see it. So the bag still looks really nice, and you have a pretty big water bottle in there. And you got one on each side. So my daily go-to is the water bottle here, and then I have just a Bluetooth speaker in this side. Something I will say though, is that if you have a bunch of stuff packed inside the bag, it kind of shares space a little bit. So it is harder to get inside. So if you want to make sure your water bottle fits, make sure you put that in first and then stuff the inside of the pack, which is not normally like the way I would do it. I normally load up, fill up my water bottle, and put it in. So it kind of took some getting used to, but like, I want to have my water, and sticking it in first is really the best way to do that, especially if this pack is full. But moving into this front pocket here, we've got the typical orange we see again from Trakke here. It's, you know, really nice and easy to see your gear because of how bright and vibrant it is. We've got 4 different places you can put gear, not including the main area here. So we've got this liner pocket here. You can kind of see how big it is. It goes all the way down almost to the bottom of this pocket. There's about an inch right there. But really big pocket. You know, you can slide flat things here. You can even put, if you have like a small tablet or your phone or even an e-reader, could slide back here. Then on top of that, we have these 2 pockets here. They about fit my hand. Good place for a phone, wallet, or similar size things like that. And then on the opposite side here, we've got this YKK zippered pocket, which goes again about to the bottom of this pocket. So it starts about here all the way down. So you get a pretty good amount of organization inside this front pocket to stow your smaller stuff or things you might want quicker. I wouldn't call it a quick use pocket because you can't really get to it while you have the pack on. But while riding my bike, I did notice that if I put the zippers on the right side, it was pretty easy to get to stuff while I was riding my bike. So I would just, you know, sling it off to one side, unzip, and then I could put my phone in there and take my phone out if it was ringing, or do what I needed to do. I'm pretty comfortable on a bike, so that might not be as easy for you, but while you're walking, there's no reason you couldn't do that. Just throw it on one shoulder, get the stuff out you need, put the stuff inside you want to put away, and no problems. And this is it doesn't really share space with the main compartment, so you don't really have to worry about that. You can see it's kind of raised there away from the contour of the bag. If you have the main pack really stuffed out, you will lose a little bit of space in here, but I did not have an issue with that. So moving into the main compartment, we've got this, it's obviously a roll top bag, and we have this little cotton webbing that you loop onto. And as you can see right now, this is kind of loose. So this is as tight as I can make this. And so if you don't have very much stuff in the bag, this is kind of, it doesn't work terribly well. Like, it's not going to come off, your stuff isn't going to come out, but it looks kind of silly. So I'll kind of illustrate that now by taking some of the stuff I have in here out. So I will pull, I've got some packing cubes in here just to illustrate how much you can fit inside. So we've got these 2 packing cubes here I just took out, and now I'm going to re-roll it. And you see now that there is a bunch of extra room here. And this, I mean, the bag, like, I mean, not often, I don't think many people would have it this empty. There is still a packing cube in here. I'll show you in just a moment. But there is, I mean, you can tighten it, so you can still, let me tighten that up. But then there's like this loop here. So now it's tight, but there's this loop. And that looks, I mean, I think it looks a little silly. What I did start using when it was really empty is there isn't a top handle in this bag, so I used it as a top handle, which I think, again, looks a little silly, but it did work for that purpose. But overall, not super happy with the roll top here. Again, it works exactly how it should, but it just doesn't look as good as the rest of the bag does, I think, when it is loose like that. And maybe there's a way to correct this. I did try a bunch to make it look nicer. So if you have this bag, or if you work at Trakke and you know a way to fix that, let me know in the comments, because I really do like this bag, but this is one of the few things I think could have been integrated a tiny bit better. So I will, and this is a good way to show too that the webbing is, or I'll keep calling it webbing, I'm not sure why. The cotton here is really strong, and it doesn't really go places without you really manipulating it, and I like that especially with the shoulder straps, which I'll talk about at the end. So as you can see here, it is a lot bigger than when you have it folded up. You get a lot of extra space with this top, I call it a chute here. on the roll top. And you have that cotton here again, which adds some structure and makes folding it a lot easier because you have that, that structured material there. Pull that last packing cube out of there. So as you can see, I had, one packing cube down there and then one like this and one like this. So, and there was quite a bit of room to spare in there, but I mean, that's, a large, I would say, maybe a medium and a medium packing cube. No issues fitting them inside. At 21 liters, you are able to fit quite a bit in here. And I think that's because there isn't a ton going on in this main compartment. It'll be really hard to show you because of it being basically a big chute, but there is no internal organization inside there. It's basically, like I said, just a big chute. So, you just kind of put stuff in here, and if you have packing cubes, that's great. If you don't, it'll still fit. It might be a little bit unorganized, but you have a lot of room to work with. And if you need to put more gear inside, it might not look super great, but you just fold it less. Like you could, fold it to here, and then, loosen this up so you could get further around the hook here. So if you need to bring more gear or you need to stow more gear, you can do that. And this adjusts up too, so if you need more, you have more for your roll top. But you really can stow a lot of gear in there. I will say that stuff on the bottom was harder to get to when you had it really packed out. Like if you had, a packing cube on the bottom or your tech kit, slid down to the bottom and you needed to get it. It is kind of hard to know what you're grabbing, especially if you have, if you had these packing cubes, it would be hard to know which one you were grabbing onto. But I mean, that's kind of the issue I've had with roll tops just in my personal usage of them is it's hard to know what's on the bottom. But I think that this bag does stow gear well, like you're able to fit quite a bit in there, and the opening is pretty big, so you can slide your arm in there. But just to give you an idea of how long it is, I mean, you can see I'm sticking my arm in there, and it's going all the way up to my shoulder. So it is pretty long. You're obviously not going to have gear stowed all the way up to the top here, but you are able to fit quite a bit of gear in there. So let me just roll this real quick. Actually, a good way to show that, so we do have a laptop compartment that is separate here. And I like that because it does offer quick access. You can just unzip with YKK with that same zipper pull again, that orange waxed canvas fabric, and then get your laptop in there. It does fit up to a 16-inch laptop, which is awesome. My 15-inch, no problems, had a little bit of wiggle room, but not to where I was worried about it. But something to note about it is, obviously it's an exterior laptop compartment, so you can get to it quickly. But you do have to undo the roll top to get to it. So there are things I like about that and things I don't like. So what I like about it is it does offer kind of an extra layer of security that if someone was trying to get to your laptop, they would have to undo this first. And that's pretty quick, but I don't know that you wouldn't feel that or you wouldn't notice that someone was messing with your bag by the time that they undid this, especially if it was tight, because right now it's loose because I took the gear out. But nice little feature to deter someone from trying to get your laptop. And what I don't like about that is it does slow you down. Like it's obviously an external laptop sleeve for a reason. It's to get to it quickly and also to separate your laptop from your stuff inside the main compartment. So you have to undo that to get to your laptop, which not the end of the world by any means, at least in my book, but something to note if you're looking at this because it has that external laptop sleeve. So last thing to cover here is the back panel. And I wanted to kind of do this last, especially after the laptop sleeve, because you can see here there really isn't a ton of padding and there isn't really aeration or anything like that. It's just the same kind of material you see throughout the rest of the pack. There is a little bit of padding here. I mean, I don't know how well you can even see me pushing that. And it's about the same on the back panel here, but no aeration really at all. So it does get pretty warm, especially on a hot day if you're moving quickly. So I know most people aren't going to be using this bag for cycling, but just to kind of illustrate that it got warm, I mean, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so of riding in warm weather, this was already getting really warm and my back was getting a bit sweaty. I didn't have a ton of issues with the shoulder straps getting sweaty, but that might just be a personal thing for me, but I could see that being an issue for some other people though. The bag itself, I would say, is very comfortable, especially for how little padding there is. At 21 liters, you can't fit an unbelievable amount of gear inside this bag. As I said, it's not a huge bag, so maybe that's part of it too. You can't really put so much weight in here to where it would be uncomfortable. But overall, I'm happy with how it performed for not having, mesh or aeration or anything like that. If you have your laptop in here, you can really feel it, because as you can see right now, like this back panel just, it manipulates really easy. There's not much structure there. But when you put your laptop in there, you can see where the laptop goes. It's really on your back and you can feel it. It's not necessarily uncomfortable, but it's very like structured on your back. And that might not be for everyone. It's not, like I said, not a huge issue for me, but I could see how that would be an issue for some people. And one more comment on this con here. We obviously, I was, testing this pack, but we also had other people try it on. And after Lauren tried it on, she had adjusted the straps, and I was trying to get it back to, where my happy place, trying to get it back where it was. And something I liked about it was that because it is such a sturdy material, it kind of like leaves like an indent where it was. So I had it there for 2 weeks, and then Lauren tried it on, and then when I went to put it back, it kind of like snapped back into place. And I really liked that, because you can, let someone else wear it, and they'll adjust it to how they like it. And so long as you put it back within, a day or so, it'll kind of snap back into place, because this con kind of held like a little ridge. And I didn't notice it until I went to put it back. So it wasn't like you could see it on the strap here, but just something to note that I think that's an awesome thing. I don't know whether they intended that or not, but I am a big fan of that. But overall, very happy with this pack. The one thing I will kind of reiterate on again is this roll top here. I'm not normally a big fan of roll tops. I do like the roll top on this pack, but the adjuster here just isn't perfect for me. And it works, it does the job, it just doesn't look exactly how I would want it to. But overall, as I said, very happy with this pack, especially for a 21-liter pack. But there you have it, the Trakke Wester Roll Top Backpack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.